At the Ministry of Agriculture, which I have some experience, there is underway a major transformation, a shift from consumption subsidies to production support. I was very impressed to see the Honorable Kagwe take on the questions from members of parliament with great understanding of where we want to go from here. And I am sure and confident that the transformation in the agricultural sector that is necessary from enhancing productivity, adding value to what we produce, and finding the routes to market for what we have produced is going to be front and center of your leadership of the team at the Ministry of Agriculture. Just to confirm to you that the procurement of fertilizer has already been undertaken. I will look up to you for leadership on how this fertilizer is going to get to every farmer to make sure that we eliminate any impediments, any shortcomings, the correct fertilizer to the correct farmers. And we have already seen evidence of what making sure that fertilizer is available and affordable, the kind of difference it has made in the productivity of our farmers. I am also clearly aware that you will pick up on matters to do with livestock. We did commit to the dairy farmers, for example, that we will be paying a minimum of 50 shillings. That has been done over the last 6 months. I will look forward to your leadership in making sure that that moves forward. In tea, just to inform you that maybe your first call this afternoon, we have tea that is stuck at the bottom of Mombasa. And yesterday I was talking to your team at the Ministry of Agriculture. We need to find out what are the issues that is causing the clog-up of tea at the port of Mombasa. And the good news around that space is that we enhanced our earnings from tea this last year from 180 billion to 210 billion. And farmers are expecting us to look at the future, and they expect us to do better in the coming year. I have no doubt that you have what it takes to take that forward. We have just concluded 2 days ago comprehensive economic partnership agreement with the UAE that provides us a big market for dairy products, for agricultural products. The trade between us and the UAE is almost 370 billion Kenyan shillings. A big majority of that is coming from our agricultural sector. With the signing of the comprehensive partnership agreement with the UAE, we expect our numbers of export of especially livestock and livestock products to increase. And I'm very happy that you're seized with the matters that will assist us access those markets, making sure that our products meet the sanitary and phytosanitary requirements for the markets that we are focused on, making sure that our meat, dairy, and other products also meet the standards that are required. I am very confident that the challenge we've had persuading farmers to vaccination, you have what it takes. You've done it before with the vaccinations that were there. And I was very happy that you made the position, you took the position, which I share, that is a voluntary exercise and nobody will be forced to do anything. All we want is to make sure that our products meet the very high standards set by our markets. The same thing in the rest of the value chains in coffee. Me and you have already discussed the future of what we need to do in coffee, what we need to do with the avocados, what we need to do in the many other aspects. And of course, the partnership that is going to be there between the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Industry, providing the ecosystem for market access for the produce from our farmers. And that takes me to my younger brother, Lee. As you may be aware, your ministry will be handling the opening of more markets. Apart from the market we just concluded in the UAE, we're now having a robust conversation with the United States. We just, I had a meeting yesterday with senators from the United States and asking for their support, both on the extension of the Africa Growth and Opportunities Act, which you are very well aware about, that will continue to open markets for our goods and services to the United States on a duty-free and quota-free arrangement. I will be looking to your leadership for our team at the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Industry on concluding those negotiations and making sure that the AGOA market continues to be open, and also on concluding the discussions on the STEEP negotiations, the bilateral arrangement between Kenya and the United States. I will also be looking for your leadership in making sure that we take full advantage of the coming into force of the tripartite agreement between COMESA and EAC and SADC, which came into force 6 months ago, I think in June last year, and how Kenyan products can access the huge 1.4 billion African market. I will also be looking for your leadership in making sure that we conclude the 200 plus markets that we are building around the country, and working with devolved units, which fortunately you have been an executive in one of them, to make sure that our farmers have access to decent spaces for them to carry out their business. We did promise Mama Mboga that they are going to work from a space that has hygiene, that is decent, that has water, that has electricity, that has lighting. And already 200 of those markets are underway. We will be working with your ministry to make sure that we look at making sure that that market ecosystem reaches as many of our producers as possible. I will also be looking for your leadership in matters to do with processing of what the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock will be producing. You're aware, working with counties, we have 47 county aggregation and industrial parks. There is already a conversation between Government of Kenya and Government of India on how to equip those county aggregation and industrial parks and to establish common user facilities that will enable farmers and producers access to processing capabilities, value addition capabilities in that ecosystem. So there will be a full entry for you on how those will come into force. I will also be looking forward to you providing leadership on our special economic zones. As you're aware, we are establishing 6 new special economic zones in Dongo Kundu, in Sagana, in Thika, in Nakuru, both in Njoro and in Naivasha, in Eldoret, and in Busia. And just to give you a heads up, we will be in Busia on Wednesday, and probably you may want to find details of how that is going. I'm told it's going very well, but you will need to provide leadership in making sure that we conclude the first phase of all the special economic zones that we set out, because these are important for processing, value addition, agro business, and also providing opportunities for our young people to work. There is much more than I've just told you. I've just given you a heads up on some of the headline issues that we will be focusing on. And as part of building the ecosystem that will support the transformation of Kenya, which I am determined to oversee, and to make sure that we create as many opportunities for business people, for people who want to work,